Yo, what it do, y'all? It's your boy, Kenny, coming at y'all once again, solo dolo for a spoiler review. This one is all about John Wick. That's right, John Wick, Chapter 4. It's here, better late than never. Let's get right into this thing. Got to check this out. Opening weekend, we were trying to schedule a whole review with the group of us together. It didn't work out, so here I am coming at y'all with this solo review, man. And I gotta say, right off the top, no beating around the bush, getting right to the point. I fucking love this movie, man. It's fucking awesome from top to bottom. I enjoyed the hell out of it. I've seen it twice, and I can definitely say after a rewatch, after getting some time to process the film a little bit, I will say this thing is awesome, and it's really good to see that they were able to end the John Wick franchise on an upswing, on a high note, and we're able to actually add some emotional resonance to the story and add in some themes of friendship and regret and vengeance and all these different things and what your life really meant and what it really stood for once you're at the end and everything like that, and how those choices led you to where you were at the end of your life and everything like that, and being willing to put your life on the line to get to seek vengeance, to seek revenge, to achieve your goal and do what you think is right. So I love the way that they were able to infuse all of that pathos and all of that deeper storytelling into this film and actually tell stories with some of the fights even in this thing. And it was really awesome getting to see the way that they were able to not necessarily one up the choreography in this one, but they were able to match it and maybe even exceed it at times, but they were just able to keep it at an 11 the entire film. From the first opening action sequence in this film is like the freaking climax of chapter 2 with is that chapter 2 or is that no chapter 3 with Mark Dacascos and all that stuff. That whole sequence with the swordsman and the guys with the karambits and all that stuff, that was like what this opening action sequence was. So from there on out, the film got even crazier and crazier and ratcheted up the tension and ratcheted up the stakes even more as it went on. And that was one of the things I loved about it the most, was the way that it was able to balance the action and the storytelling and find those moments to breathe or add a little bit of levity or humor without undercutting the emotional resonance or the stakes or the more serious moments, in the way that they were able to weave all of that together with the more over-the-top nature of the John Wick sequels as we've continued to escalate what is going down in these things ever since the first film through chapter 2 and so on and so forth. They were able to balance that so well in this one, and I think this is the most balanced sequel when it comes to the storytelling and the action, because for me personally, it never lost sight of that, and I was always invested in the action and invested in what was going on. And honestly, not as a slight to Keanu Reeves or to him as an actor or to John Wick as a character, but in this particular film, I was actually almost more invested or more interested in some of the side characters this time around, and just fleshing out that world the way that they're always able to do so well in these John Wick films is just always so cool. So I always dig that fact. And getting into some of those side characters now, I loved Donnie Yen's character of Kane in this, John Wick's former friend and everything like that, and the assassin that Bill Skarsgård's character, I'm forgetting his character's name at the moment, but the assassin that he hired as the big bad to go after John Wick. And it's so funny the way that Donnie Yen is able to play off of that dynamic of being John Wick's friend, and the way him and Keanu Reeves are able to go back and forth and essentially, be at each other's throat and really go for it, but at the same time have that respect for each other and be able to help each other in certain moments, especially in that whole sequence where freaking Keanu Reeves is falling down hundreds of stairs and shit like that. That sequence, man, insanity. But yeah, but just absolutely love everything about Donnie Yen's character and the way that they inject so much pathos with him wanting not having a life with his daughter and just yearning for that so much, but owing so much to the high table and everything like that, and just being indebted to them for the rest of his life just leaves him in a really really tough spot. So I really really love the storyline that they told with Donnie Yen's character of Kane. Really love the introduction of his character. I would take a fucking spin off with that character in a heartbeat. Really love that guy in general, as a performer, as a martial artist, as an actor. Just respect the hell out of the guy and just really loved his character in this film. Donnie Yen kicks a lot of ass in this thing. And let's not forget about Hideyoki Sanada as the character of I'll have to flash it on the screen. I forgot. But Hideyoki Sanada's character, man, it's really cool. I think his name is Juno or Judo or something like Cujo. I don't know. It's something like that. Totally botched it. Whatever. Is this gonna stay in the edit? I don't know. But fuck it. We're moving forward. We're pressing forward. Anyways, Hideyoki Sanada's character, one of John Wick's former friends as well, that actually is the leader of the Osaka Continental. That was really fucking awesome getting to see him step up in this thing and have the big old sword fight and showdown go down with Kane, aka Donnie Yen. So that was freaking awesome, and the way that they had their moment of truth and the whole head-to-head battle and everything like that, and the way that Donnie Yen's character was forced to essentially take him out because he stood in the way between him and John Wick, and if he gets in the way between him and John Wick, that's between him and his daughter. So had to take him out, and just the whole way that went down, and the introduction to Hideyoki Sanada's character's daughter, who I'm also forgetting the name of. Forgetting everyone's name today. Forgive me, it's late. But where was I? But yeah, so his daughter and everything, like the introduction of that character, she kicks a lot of ass as well. And there's a lot of big implications in that post-credit scene with her and Donnie Yen's character due to the fact that John Wick ended up getting her father killed, being involved with all the stuff going on. She blames them and obviously blames Kane, the character of Kane, for directly stabbing her father and taking him out. So she's going for revenge to him in the post-credit scene. So it's going to be interesting to see if they go somewhere in the future with that, because if you all have been hearing in the news lately, the CEO of Lionsgate or whatever, the guy that owns a place that funds all the John Wick movies, wants to make a ton more sequels and spinoffs. Of course, money, 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 money. So they're definitely trying to get on that. So hey, there's a lot of potential for there to be spinoffs like Kane and whatnot. So it's definitely a lot more of a possibility than it was initially when the film first dropped. Man, made a hell of a lot of money and all that. So that's definitely a good thing, man. But really dug all those new side characters introduced in this one. It was really dope getting to see Lawrence Fishburne's character come back. King, always funny. Some of the best dialogue just came out of that guy's mouth throughout the entire film. Love Lawrence Fishburne, one of my all-time favorite actors, and just came in, just provides John Wick with his gear and whatnot, gives him the breakdown, adds some nice levity to the situation and everything like that. And so really dug everything there. And yeah. Oh, once I'd be remiss if I didn't mention, much love, rest in paradise to Lance Reddick, man. This was, I believe, his last performance in any film, at least he did while he was still alive. I believe, could be wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong. Let me know in the comments. But I believe this was his last film, and he did a great job with the role that he had. As the concierge, and I always enjoyed his role in the John Wick films, and he was a really, really great actor in his own right, doing a various amounts of different projects, just even as recently as the Resident Evil series on Netflix, and a lot of different things over the course of his career. He's done tons of different things out there. Go check his IMDb and, take a look at what he's been doing and everything like that. And I'm pretty sure if you all are familiar with these films, you're familiar with him, and you're probably familiar with that actor. So go out there and check out Lance Reddick's work if you haven't already. And if you have, go back and check out some of the stuff maybe you forgot about, maybe some of those hidden gems, you know what I'm saying? But much love to his family, much love to all his supporters and fans and everything like that. And, rest in paradise to him. But hell of a legacy and a hell of a catalog of films that he's going to be leaving behind, that is for sure. So, yeah, much love to him, man. Really dug his performance in this. And crazy parallels between the death of his character and the death of him in real life. But luckily, his death in real life was a lot more peaceful and a lot better, or not better, I should say. That's the wrong word, but a lot more peaceful and a lot less traumatic. That is for sure than his character's death. So that was definitely good, for sure. So, yeah, but crazy how that kind of parallels at the same time. So crazy stuff. But moving on here, Bill Skarsgård's character, want to definitely mention him. Definitely don't remember the name of the character. Gonna have to flash his name on the screen or some shit. But I really, really dug his performance. Of course, Bill Skarsgård is quickly becoming one of my favorite actors. One of my favorite up and coming actors working today. I can say that's for sure. Just the way he's able to just slip into the French accent seamlessly, no problems. Just really, really good stuff, man. The way that he's able to have so much presence and gravitas on screen, I think is just unmatched by a lot of actors of the current generation, man. So I just really love this guy's work and the performance he was able to do while playing into some of the more comedic sides of the character, but also keeping it serious and keeping it menacing at the same time, but not making him too menacing to where he's going to be a real threat for John Wick, because he ain't even trying to get down with John Wick, you know what I mean? Even with the final duel, he ain't even in the final duel. He gets freaking Kane to do it because he's a little bitch, because he knows John Wick gonna get that ass. So I really, really dug the way that his character did seem menacing, did seem like he was in charge, did seem like he knew what was going down and was in charge of the situation. But I definitely like that he knew he couldn't fuck with John Wick, and that's a constant thing that kind of plays throughout these films. So I definitely dug the way that they were able to implement and keep that consistent with this film as well. And really cool getting to see Clancy Brown up in here real quick too with the supporting role. So that was a lot of fun. And that character, the Tracker, man, definitely think he was the Tracker, I should say. I definitely think he was unnecessary, but was an interesting character nonetheless. Very entertaining character. Really dug him. Really liked how he had that Halle Berry kind of dog fighting kind of style going on, and the whole parallels with him and John Wick and the dog lover whole thing and all that stuff, protecting the dog and everything like that, and how John Wick takes out the guy that's going to take out the dog, which ends up making them have a mutual respect for one another and teaming up and all that shit, which I kind of saw coming from the top of the movie when I saw he had a dog with him in the first place when he was at the Osaka Continental, I should say. So, yeah, but really dug the character, but definitely thought he was a little bit unnecessary to the overall thing. Definitely thought that kind of padded out the runtime a little bit. And although the running time was very long with the movie, I do think they could have trimmed it. It did not feel long at all. Both times I watched it, it just flew by, no problem. So they don't necessarily have to trim it down, but if they did, it would have made it even play even faster. So I think it was just like, either way, great pacing. I'm not complaining too much, but definitely think they could have trimmed the fat just a teensy bit. But overall, I'm definitely not complaining, especially with this seemingly being the culmination to the John Wick story, because, spoiler alert, hello, this is a spoiler review if you haven't realized by now. John Wick gets shot and he dies at the end of this thing. You know what I mean? Supposedly. We don't necessarily see a body get buried, so anything's possible, right? If you don't see a body in these kind of movies, anything's possible. But for the meantime, it does seemingly seem as if John Wick has passed on. John Wick is dead. R.I.P. You know what I mean? So it's going to be interesting to see if Keanu Reeves and everyone behind the scenes actually puts the character to bed or not. I kind of hope they do prequels, spin-offs, all that stuff. I'm down for spin-offs and shit. I just think we should put John Wick to bed unless it's a prequel. Let's let this thing lie to rest. Let's let a franchise end on a high note. Please. Just the John Wick core films. Just let 4 films, we're done. We're good. It's a good run. Let's end it there. And let's get out while the getting's good. You know what I'm saying? Let's get out while the getting's good. Please. Spin-offs, prequels. I'm down with it. Unless it's a spin-off or a prequel. I don't want a sequel. No John Wick Chapter 5. Unless it's a prequel. Please. In between one of the movies. I don't give a shit. But please. Don't do a sequel. It's going to dilute all the shit that came before automatically. At least in my humble opinion. But overall, this was a fucking awesome movie. It's a little bit of a short but sweet review. You know what I mean? But I definitely wanted to get this out for y'all. I definitely wanted to get my 2 cents out there about the John Wick film, man. The latest John Wick installment. John Wick Chapter 4. I had to get my thoughts out about it. Loved it. Had a great time with it. I'm going to give it an 8.5 out of 10. Very enjoyable film. Very great stuff. One of the best action films of all time, in my opinion, with this thing. I just absolutely loved it. phenomenal. Oh, Scott Adkins' role in there is killer. By the way, got to mention him real quick. That was hilarious. It was like a cross between um, Kingpin and the Penguin mixed with a Russian guy. With a stereotypical like Russian type character, all kind of blended together with the Scott Adkins martial art badassery. So that was definitely a lot of fun. Had to mention that before I got up out of here. But make sure y'all staying tuned and not sleeping on anything we got going on around here. Click the buttons below the video, y'all. Come on, man. Join this awesome community today. Quit effing around. Quit messing around. We're trying to get you to join this awesome community today where we just break down all the stuff we love in the world of pop culture. And this is no different. Make sure you leave your thoughts down below about this thing. Do you think this is one of the best sequels to John Wick? Do you think it rivals the first movie? Do you think it's better than the first movie? Do you think it's nowhere near as good as the first movie? I want to hear your thoughts down below. Let us know. We want to get into a discussion with y'all anytime and on any video. So make sure you're doing all that. We're going to have some more content coming at y'all. We got one last Scream video. I got to get out a little bit later than I wanted to, but we got one last Scream video to get out for y'all to end that out for Scream 6 and everything, celebrating and all that stuff. All the hype trains going to be coming to an end there. But we also got the Mandalorian review that's going to be dropping right after or right before this video. So by the time you're seeing this, Mandalorian should already be up there, I believe. So this might be coming a little bit later. But make sure you're staying tuned for all that. We got a lot more stuff coming down the line. Super Mario Brothers right around the corner. Secret Invasion coming down the line. What else we got going on? There's a lot of good shit going on. So make sure you stay tuned. Don't sleep on any of it. We'll see you again real soon. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. All that good jazz. See you again soon. Peace out, guys.